ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ। Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. This morning, I am going to speak a very important aspect in our day-to-day life and in our spiritual life. The reduction of ego. We don't have much idea about what is ego. Generally, what we think about ego means, I did this, I am the powerful person, I am the more active person, I, and me, and me, and me. Generally, we consider this is ego. But in actual philosophical term, it is called egoism or egotism. Sri Ramakrishna, in his lucid, simple village connotation, he explained it. He said, there are two types of ego. He did not use the term egoism though, because he did not have any school-going education. So he said that there are two types of ego. One is ripe ego and another is tender ego. What is the ripe ego? The ripe ego, it came in our personality from the moment we were born. When a baby is born, the very moment it cries, what does it mean? It means that it says, I am here. That very moment, that ripe ego, or ego start with capital E, starts in our personality. So this ego means our awareness. When we die, this awareness goes. This awareness means only human being has this awareness. No animal or inferior living being than human being doesn't have this kind of awareness. As for example, what is this awareness? I am alive. No proof or no means is required to let us say that I am alive. It is self-proved. I am alive. Or I am listening to this lecture. You are aware that you are listening to this lecture. I am delivering this lecture, and at the same time I am aware that you are in front of me. I am standing, I am delivering this lecture, and you are in front of me. I am aware of this. This awareness, you have also that awareness. You are listening to this lecture. You are sitting on the chair. You are aware that there are some people here scattered ways sitting on the chair. So, you have that awareness. No animal has this awareness. Only human being has this awareness of existence. I exist. This awareness comes from the moment we are born. This is the ripe ego, or starting with capital E. What is the tender ego or unripe ego? Unripe ego develops afterwards. When we develop this ripe I in a stronger way, the more we develop in a stronger way this capital I or ripe I, along with the society, along with our neighbors, along with our families, we try to find a distinct position in our family, in our society, in our friend circle. We try to find a distinct position, and this is called the tender I, the egoism or egotism. This is, I did this. To find a distinct position in the society, to find a distinct position in our family, to find a distinct position in our friend circle, we promote ourselves. We try to force ourselves to come out with me and mine. This is called egoism or egotism. Now, in our day-to-day life or in our spiritual life, the ripe ego or capital I is not bad. I exist. We do not have any control to forget that. I am aware of that. Whether you like it or not, you have to aware that you are sitting here, that you exist. But we can control the tender I or unripe I or egoism. We can control that. So the harmful thing in our spiritual life is not the ripe I or ego, simple ego. The ripe I is called ego, simple ego. Ego is not bad in our day-to-day life or in our spiritual life because it is innate, it is inborn. We do not have any control over itself. But this egoism or egotism or the tender I is the harmful thing. Sri Ramakrishna says this egoism is called Maya. Maya is this egoism, this tender I. Let me explain in a technical way. What is this ego? This ego is the I-ness, aware of I, the feeling of I. It is simple awareness of I. Ego is our outer manifestation of some subtle psychic principle. Ego refers to the feeling of I. The ego is the core personality structure, the doer or agent. I did this. It is not bad. I am happy. It is not bad. I am sad. It is not bad. So what is the egoism then? Egoism is this: when this I, this ego, is identified with our mind, with our samaskaras. That is called egoism. When egoism or Maya protects us for the manifestation of the self. Swami Vivekananda says, what is religion? What is spirituality? Spirituality is the manifestation of the potential divinity which is within in man, already in man. So it is already, we have. Here is the basic difference between the Christianity and the Indian philosophy. Christianity says we are born sinner. But Indian philosophy says we are the son of divine. We are born with that divinity. It is already there. Only we have to manifest that. And this Maya or egoism protect this. It does not allow for this manifestation of this potential divinity. So, egoism is the identification of this I with mind, thought, emotion, and various social factors internalized in the form of samaskaras. Selfishness is one of the manifestation of egoism. Egoism is the feeling of me and mine. Egoism is thus wrong type of self-objectification. Now, the subject matter of this morning is reduction of egoism or reduction of ego. So, as we have understood that egoism is the obstruction, is the veil which obstructs the manifestation of our potential divinity. It obstructs the smooth flowing of divine grace. So, we have to remove this or reduce this. It is very clear as we know the ego, the ripe I. Now I should use the ego and egoism in a technical way, and I think that you can understand that. So, as ego is the innate thing, so we cannot remove our ego. It is not in our hand. Sri Ramakrishna says, if we can remove it, though by spiritual experience or samadhi, still it leaves its mark. We cannot eradicate completely this ego, but we can reduce it, but egoism we can eliminate completely. And the problem is egoism in our day-to-day life, in our spiritual life. So, egoism actually, the fear, the cause of our fear, the cause of our hatred, the cause of our jealousy. As it is Maya, it creates all types of problem. So the fear, jealousy, hatred, everything, anger, everything comes from this egoism. So it is so important to reduce this egoism. It is also acts as a door to protect us, to go in tune with the flow of social life. It eliminates us from the natural flow of social life. You can find some people, we call it introvert. I don't like these things. They withdraw. This is also the cause of egoism. We cannot understand that. Selfishness. We think the selfishness is the love of one's own self. If I love my own self, that is called selfishness. But no, selfishness is the cause. Egoism is the cause of selfishness. Actually, selfishness is the reaction. It is not loving ourselves. Loving ourselves is good, but the selfishness is this. It is the reaction. It is the negative reaction. How selfishness is born? Selfishness is born out of comparison. So this egoism is actually the comparison, or it is a pseudo protection of our inferiority and insecurity. In our deep core, if we feel insecure, in our deep core, if we feel that we are inferior or insecure, this selfishness comes to protect as an anti-reaction of that. So, the main point is this: the egoism is the root cause of all our problem. Sometimes egoism shows some strength. Yes, I did that. I have that power to do that. I shall do that. It is a kind of pseudo strength it shows. But actually, a little bit introspection, we can find this strength also is a kind of weakness. It protects us. It has some good quality also. Egoism protects us. It protects our personality. I have mentioned it earlier that if I criticize you, what you will say immediately? No. Why are you blaming me? Why are you criticizing me? It is not correct. I did not do this. Immediately, we try to protect ourselves. We try to give justification in favor of ourselves. Who is doing this? Egoism. Egoism is protecting us. So give some justification. The more intelligent people can give more clever justification. Looks like logical, but it is nothing but the protection, self-protection, auto-developed self-protection from the part of egoism. So, we can understand now that how much harmful is egoism. And we have to reduce the egoism. How can we do that? The first way of doing this is humbleness. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that in a high land, water cannot be accumulated. In a hillock or in a mountain, water cannot be accumulated. It flows downward. But if the land is little bit tilted, or there is something kind of hole, means not elevated land, that land can accumulate water. What does it mean? It means those whose egoism is very high, elevated, they cannot accumulate the knowledge. The knowledge comes and it flows down. But who are humble, the land is tilted, or there is some not elevated, their water can be accumulated. Knowledge can be accumulated there. And knowledge will transform in wisdom. So humbleness is very important. But it is also sometimes very disguising. There are plenty of humble people, those who are superly egoistic. This pseudo-humbleness, this is very disguising. So super egoism actually we find for the people who are actually shows like very humble, that's why self-sacrifice is required. The test of reduced egoism is self-sacrifice. In Indian philosophy, in especially Advaita, or in Bhakti also, in both these schools, they think that karma or work, karma yoga or work, is the preliminary prerequisite. It is the prerequisite of spiritual life. It is the preliminary work one has to do. So, karma yoga has to be done. What does it mean by karma yoga? We think to help people is the karma yoga. We think to give something is karma yoga. It is not. Karma yoga is self-sacrifice. Karma yoga is not external. External is the impact of karma yoga. Real karma yoga is within. So, it is the self-sacrifice. See, in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna advised karma yoga in 3rd chapter. He advised in 3rd chapter, in the beginning of the Gita, almost in the beginning of the Gita. Then he advised Bhakti Yoga, then he advised Jnana Yoga. So he advised karma yoga, because it is the prerequisite. And karma yoga means self-sacrifice. So self-sacrifice is very important. When Arjuna was confused what to do, Sri Krishna advised self-sacrifice. And then he advised the highest spiritual. So, it means the spirituality, the way of solve your problem is spirituality. So, spirituality is the way of solving your problem. How to solve your problem spiritually? That is the smartest way. Generally what we do, if we have any problem, we try to find the solution from the external world. We ask, we request him, X, Y, Z, to find the solution. Some cases, some preliminary cases, as for example the health, as for example the other things, if you have the problem of plumbing problem, if you have problem, the electrical problem, obviously you cannot solve it spiritually. Obviously you have to call one handyman or one somebody else. So the point is this: without this problem, the life's problem, the problem of our life, we can solve spiritually. That is the way Sri Krishna showed Arjuna. Even in the battlefield. So, that is the way, that is the cause of reduction of egoism. So, the first point is humbleness, and the litmus test of this humbleness is self-sacrifice. The ways call for spectacular acts of self-sacrifice, but the spirit and readiness of sacrifice must always be there in the spiritual aspirant. Those are spirit and readiness. This is important. What usually prevents people from practicing self-sacrifice is ignorance about their own true nature. They are called upon to sacrifice not the higher true self, but only the lower self of or ego. When the lower self is given up, the higher self takes over its place and fills the heart with the light of bliss. Self-sacrifice is impossible without love and compassion. This is very important. We can sacrifice, but if there is no love, there is no use of self-sacrifice. As we show the pseudo-egoism by expressing our strength, similarly, there is pseudo-self-sacrifice. These are very disguising. Some people, they not even understand that it is pseudo-self-sacrifice. We try to sacrifice. I sacrifice this. But the point is, they cannot understand it is the pseudo-self-sacrifice. The basis of self-sacrifice is love. Unless this love and compassion, it expresses its own course of action, we cannot call it self-sacrifice. Intensely selfish people also often talk about seeing God in all people and about work as worship. But long before one succeeds in converting all activities into worship, one must be endowed with basic human virtues of love and compassion. Trying to see God in others without inborn love and compassion is a futile, as the Indian custom of worshipping the cow without properly feeding it. You know, some Indian sect, they worship cow. But unfortunately, they are not feed the cow. They are worshipping. But the cow is hungry. So this kind of, way is not correct. The point is, first basic thing is love. Unless we fill our heart with love, self-sacrifice is completely futile. So the basis of self-sacrifice is love. We have to judge. We have proper love without any discrimination. Then only our self-sacrifice. I love my pet, or mother loves her child. It is common. It is everywhere. But can one mother love others' son in equal degree? That is called love. A true spiritual aspirant is one who has combined himself or herself, the heroes of will and mother's heart. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. So the reduction of ego, if we think that we shall reduce our ego, okay, I am reducing my ego. This is not the way of reduction of ego. The basis of reduction of ego, one of the bases of reduction of ego is self-sacrifice. So self-sacrifice, we have to be very careful. Humbleness. Humbleness comes from self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice based on love and compassion. Without love and compassion, we cannot sacrifice. And the basis of love and compassion is this: the hero's will and mother's heart. What is the will? What is the function of will? In Christianity, we find a lot of discussions on will. Free will, God's will, different kinds of will. But in Indian philosophy, will has a very specific and very important function. Will is the dynamic aspect of our self. Self means consciousness. That means it is very close to our consciousness. What is the dynamic aspect of our consciousness? How is it act? What is the activity of this will? How can we understand that? Very simple example. When we are meditating, what do? We close our eyes. And then what we do? We try to think one object of meditation. As for example, some God, some object. We think some divine object of meditation, or some light, or some thoughts. We try to fix that object and we try to hold that object under the focus of our mind. Generally, we try to do this. In most of the meditation, we know, or in the mindfulness. If you go through the mindfulness, then you are thinking, you are trying to bring your mind at the present. You are watching your breathing, then your every parts of your body, that it is stand still, and you try to bring your mind to the present by thinking every point of your physical body, like that. There are different techniques of meditation. But whatever may be the techniques, we try to bring something, some object under our mind's focus. And what is our regular practice? What is our experience of that? We try to bring the object of our meditation under our focus, and the more it slips away. We just think unconsciously when it flies away, we don't know. Oh, after some day, oh my God. Then again you try to bring that under your focus. That kind of tug of war, and when we exhaust, okay, our meditation is finished. So that is the way we meditate. So when the object of your meditation flies away, what do you do? What we do? We try to hold that object under our mind's focus, under the focus of our mind. And actually what we do, we apply a mental force to hold that object and try to hold it tightly. This mental force is called will. The mental force, dynamic mental force we apply to hold our object of meditation under our mind's focus is called will. Another example of will. Every day we think lots of things we have to do. Oh, this work is pending, this work is pending, this work is pending, and today we shall do that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we find that we cannot do all the works. But we did one or two things at least. Why this happens? We try to do all the works, but we cannot. Why? Because our will hooks some desire. And that desire we perform, we fulfill. There are thousands of desires. We shall do that, we shall do that, we shall do that. But only few desires our will hooks and holds. And only those things we perform. So this is the function of will. It is the dynamic aspect. And egoism, or ego, I would say capital ego, is the static part of consciousness. It exists, awareness. That is the static part of consciousness. So, what Swamiji says, the hero's will, if we have to reduce our egoism, we have to develop hero's will. Why hero's will? It is because the will must be in our hand. We shall direct our will. Generally, what happened, we have two types of memories. Samaskar. What is the samaskars? We are guided and we are prompted by our samaskars. What is the samaskaras? If we understand something outside, we can control ourselves. Okay, today I shall not go to a birthday party. Today I shall go to the temple. You can operate yourself. You can force yourself. But which is in the samaskaras? We cannot. Suddenly something comes up. Difficult to control. What is coming up from your within to your surface mind, we cannot have control. We are sitting here listening to this lecture. Suddenly some kind of thing comes up in our mind. We do not have control. This is coming from the samaskar, from the unconscious. So, two types of samaskar. These things are coming, these are two types. One comes as a memory. Okay, these things happened. And one comes as experience, which comes as memory that is not harmful. But which comes as experience that is harmful. I took a chocolate. I have a very high blood sugar. And I took chocolate one day. So that desire comes to me on the surface in two ways, as a memory. Okay, Oh, that was a very good atmosphere, situation, and I took a chocolate. That is the memory. But another thing will come as an experience. And when it will come as an experience, I try to feel the taste within. That is very powerful. And I want to get another chocolate right now. This is the desire. Comes up. Till now it is okay. But what is happening? Our will hooks that. And then we try to fulfill it. If we have never, not we, if I have never taken the chocolate, somebody is taking in front of me, I cannot experience the taste of chocolate. So I will have the memory, but not the experience. The experience is bad, not the memory. You have the memory, you are thinking, okay, I had a very good time. That's good. But when it will come as an experience, these are very subtle, very difficult to distinguish these two things. When it will come as a memory, because you did it, very difficult to control. And if we hook it with the desire unconsciously, then we try to fulfill it. We try different options to fulfill it. If we cannot fulfill it in a normal, proper way, we try to go some different other way to fulfill it. Somehow or other, today or tomorrow, we try to fulfill it. Straight way or in the crooked way. We have to fulfill it. So this is the function of will. So Swami Vivekananda says, heroes will. Heroes means those who have powerful will. It doesn't hook anything and everything. Desire will come from the samaskaras as a memory, as an experience. We do not have any control over that. But we have a control of hooking it with the will. So these heroes will, and love is the basis of self-sacrifice, of humbleness. Mother's love. Mother scolds, Mother's love is very tricky. Mother scolds her kids. At the same time, she loves. So mother's love is very tricky. Kids can understand that mother scolding is not ultimate scolding. Mother cannot refuse. So this is mother's love. So this is the reduction of egoism. Do you have any question? Yes, please.
The experience aspect of the samskara, is that colored with feeling or sensory experience? Is there like feeling?
Yeah, feeling. See, there are 4 things. One is cognition, thinking. One is volition, will. One is cognition, and one is affection. Affection is this feeling. So these are the four things, four characteristics of our personality. Four different aspects. So feeling and emotion is connected with our samaskaras. Will is not connected with our samaskaras because will is directly connected with our consciousness. Which is connected with our mind, emotion, feeling. That is little bit tricky. Yes, please.
Can you clarify, Swamiji, about touching the ego? Because my understanding in your lecture is that the ego actually is basically fighting with mind.
Not only mind,
Suffering.
mind and samaskaras.
Right, so if there's suffering, so I cannot avoid to see it, feel it, experience it. And one way to reduce my egotism is humble and
Just one correction here. You are talking about egoism, not ego. Am I correct?
right,
Okay.
right. So reducing the egotism or making it that as if everything's happening to me because I see the suffering and all these things around me, the environment going on, and things coming to me and make me feel bad, I suffer. And then the way you said two things is to reduce it with humbleness, sacrifice, and love. How can I do that? It's kind of tricky.
The first of all, it is true. The first of all, when you understand the difference between ego and egoism, and you can understand that your egoism is connected with your mind and which is false, which is me and mine, not the I. You are identified with your role. When you understand that, then you will not be identified, you will not be prompted by that thing. Then all your problem will be solved. We do not understand that. That is why we face the problem. If we understand that, our outlook, whether I am identified with this or not, when we are rational, we are alert, we can easily control ourselves. It is to work out with your mind, that's all. With your logic. Play with it. It is simple awareness. So, three things: attitude, awareness and alertness, and third is assessment. 3 A's of spiritual life: attitude, awareness and alertness. You are aware. A driver is aware that he has to drive very carefully. Aware. but not alert. So, attitude, awareness and alertness and assessment. Always assess how much have you progressed. These are the 3 A's of spiritual life. Any other question? Yes. Oh, we can assess easily. There is no way of, there are thousands of ways of our assessment. How much I can sacrifice, whether my attitude and outlook is changing or not, that is a litmus test. People can say, you can find it from the behavior of your surroundings. It is easily noticeable. You can notice it, your surroundings can notice it. If not, then you think that you are not progressing. It is easily noticeable. Okay, I think. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkham apnuat, sarvastarotu durgani, sarvo bhadrani pashyatu, sarva sadbuddhimapnotu, sarva sarvatranandatu, durjana sajjano bhuyat, sajjana shantimapnuat, shantamucchete bandhebhyo, muktasyanyan vimochayet. May all be happy, may all enjoy good health, may all see happy events, may all be freed from miseries, may all be freed from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bondages, may the freed make others free. May the Supreme Deity, may the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For He being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. We have a few announcements. So I think we don't have any Sunday morning service till 15th January. Because next Sunday, 18th, we will have Holy Mother's birth anniversary celebration at 3 p.m. in this hall. So I request you all to attend at 3 p.m. here in this hall, the special worship of Holy Mother Sarada Devi. And then next is the 25th, I think. So 24th evening, we have here the Christmas Eve celebration from 7 to 9. So I request you all to attend from 7 to 9 this Christmas Eve celebration. And then from 25th we have the winter recess So no class, no lecture here. 15th January, till 15th January, 15th January we will have Swami Vivekananda's birth anniversary celebration. 15th January in this hall at 3 p.m. So I request you all to attend 15th January, Sunday at 3 p.m. for this celebration. And from the following Sunday, we will have the Sunday lecture again. So that will be 22nd, I think, 22nd January, we will have the Sunday lecture again. But Thursday class, we will have the online Thursday class till 24th December. And then it will start after 15th January. So I think there will be only one Thursday class after 18th. So that will be held. Similarly, San Jose also, Sunday, we will have the 22nd, next Sunday, San Jose evening. But we will continue every Wednesday our Yogodharana meditation in San Jose. That will be continued as usual every Wednesday from 7:30 to 8:30. Thank you very much. As usual, tea and coffee will be served from the Saradananda Hall, which will be followed by Prasad luncheon. You all requested to attend. Thank you.